Welcome back to the Velvet Story, where every heartbeat has a voice and every silence tells a tale. In today's chapter of Pretend, reality begins to surface, and with it, the unspoken truths, jealous hearts, and hidden promises. Man is burning with questions, Geet is caught between past and present, and Rayyan. Well, he's not done yet. What happens when truth is no longer a secret but a weapon? Get ready for chapter 28, Reality. Let the story begin. Sometimes, walking down an empty road gives you the peace no one else can offer. I realized that today. I let go of all my bad habits, partying, drinking, my reckless anger. I changed, or at least I tried to, all for her. But it feels like everything was in vain. I had skipped just one day visiting her, just one. When I went to her apartment today, I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd see the love I carry in silence. I told her I couldn't live without her. I meant it. But the moment I saw her, everything crashed inside me. Emotions I thought I had buried deep rose like fire. I couldn't control myself. I screamed at her. I know I was unreasonable. And Geet, she never even treated me like a friend. But my heart was helpless. For the first time in my life, I truly loved someone. I dreamed of her. I imagined a life with her, loving her, protecting her. But she didn't even know. And now I understand why. But how do I explain that to a shattered heart? Tears fell from my eyes. I felt like a girl abandoned by the one she thought was her forever. End of soliloquy. Scene shift. Man paced back and forth, frustrated. He wanted to talk to Dev and Annie, but time wasn't on his side. There was only one person who could help now, his father. He took a deep breath and dialed the number. "Hello, Dad," he said after a moment of hesitation. "What's wrong, man?" his father replied, instantly picking up the tension in his voice. I need your help," Man admitted. "Go ahead, son. Tell me." Man explained the entire situation in detail. His father thought for a second. "I'll call a friend of mine. She'll help you." On such short notice, Man was surprised. That's the beauty of relationships, real ones. You'll learn that one day. "Thank you, Dad," Man said, though suspicion lingered in his voice. He hung up the call and stared at the phone. Does he already know everything? He wondered. "Man, you sound angry," his father had said before. "I'm not angry, Dad, just tense." "Really? Good night, Dad." "Night, son." Man ended the call and stood still, clenching his fists. Something didn't sit right. Scene shift. She was on a call when she heard a broken voice call out. "Mom, you're here?" Rayyan's voice cracked as he wiped his tears. "I thought you'd be happy to see me, Rayyan," she said, pulling him into a hug, sensing his pain. Rayyan buried himself in her embrace, trying to piece himself back together. She doesn't love me, Mom. She told me today. She's married. She married for her mother-in-law's sake." "You didn't know?" his mother asked, shocked. "No, she never said a word. But she confessed everything today. She told me how her first husband cheated on her, and how her second marriage was a choice she made for someone else's sake." His mother tried to understand. If she doesn't love him, then why stay? Rayyan let out a bitter laugh. She hated her first husband and still couldn't just walk away. Do you think she'll leave someone who helped her mother-in-law win her case? His mother remained silent, processing it all. "She's not like other girls, Mom. Geet is different, she's cultured, principled. That's why I fell for her." There was a pause before he added, "Mom, I know it's a lot to ask, but her hearing is tomorrow. She doesn't have a lawyer. Can you help her, please? I know you don't mix personal and professional life. I know you only take cases you're sure you'll win. But, for me, just this once." His mother sighed. "Rayyan, it's very short notice." But Rayyan interrupted, thinking she was refusing. "It's okay. I'll talk to Dad. Maybe we can bribe someone, do something." "Rayyan," she looked at him with a mix of concern and admiration. "You really love her?" He nodded, voice trembling. "I do, Mom. Even though she doesn't love you back?" She's not at fault, Rayyan. He rested his head on her lap, eyes closed. I finally understand why she doesn't love me. Maybe I'm just paying for who I used to be. His mother ran her fingers through his hair gently. Then I will help her. For the girl who managed to change the sun, I couldn't even convince myself. Scene shift. Maan stood outside Geet's house, his fists clenched. His anger was boiling beneath the surface. Then he saw him, Rayyan, leaving her house. I'll kill him. The thought raced through his mind. It was just a peck, Reason said. And what about you? You stopped her when she tried to kiss you yesterday, his mind added. She pushed him away too. Came the next thought, this time in her defense. Why do you want to kill him, Maan? His mind whispered. Because she's my wife. His heart shouted. Pretend wife, logic snapped back. Still my responsibility, his heart argued. She can take care of herself. She knows him. Just shut up, Maan growled out loud. Geet, hearing the voice, opened the door. Is someone there? Hello, Geet, Maan said, trying to keep his tone neutral. Geet was surprised. Come in. I thought I'd have to beg to be let in. He muttered bitterly. Geet ignored the taunt. What do you want, Maan? He stepped inside and sat on the sofa. Rosie greeted him with a smile. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Rosie, he replied sweetly. Geet stared, confused. Why could he speak nicely to others but not to her? Dada. Little Abhi came running in, rubbing his sleepy eyes. You left me, Abhi? Maan said with a soft smile. Abhi not leave Dada. Dada missed Abhi so much. Abhi missed Dada too. The little boy giggled and climbed into his lap. No, Abhi loves Mama more, Maan teased. Abhi looked at both of them innocently. Abhi loves Mama and Dada. Maan hugged him tightly, burying his face in the boy's tiny shoulder. But Rayyan's image still haunted his mind. Geet watched them quietly. Her heart swelled seeing them together, but fear clawed at her too. She couldn't even explain what she was afraid of. Trying to calm herself, she walked into the kitchen and began making hot chocolate for all of them. It was cold, and hot chocolate always warmed the soul. Her thoughts were all over the place, but none of them gave her peace. Her phone rang. She stepped out, balancing the cups in her hands. But before she could reach for her phone, Maan grabbed it. Hello Geet, Rayyan here, can we meet? A male voice came from the other side of the phone, and Maan instantly recognized him. It was the same guy. The same damn guy. Maan, whose blood was already boiling, felt himself on the verge of exploding. But the next words from the voice halted him. My mother is the best lawyer, and she's ready to take your case, Rayyan said sincerely. Maan clenched his jaw. Now was not the time to lash out, this was action time. We will be there, Maan replied curtly, his voice cold but composed. Sorry, who is this? Rayyan asked, confused. Geet, who had just placed the cups on the table, moved to snatch the phone from Maan, but he was quicker. He grabbed her and pulled her towards him with sudden force, making her stumble and land right on him. Geet managed to avoid hurting Abhi, but barely. What the hell is wrong with him? She wanted to scream but bit her lip instead. I'm her husband, Maan replied casually on the phone. Geet was about to get up, but Maan didn't let go of her waist. Maan, she said softly, almost pleading. Give me my phone back. He ended the call with a tap. Who was on the call? He asked, his eyes stormy. Your lover boy, he snapped sarcastically. Geet narrowed her eyes, asking silently what he meant. He wants to meet us. His mother, Maya Rayyansh, wants to help us. A spark of relief flashed in Geet's eyes. That's good news. We have to leave, Maan said, standing up with Abhi still in his arms. Fine, let's go, but at least have the hot chocolate, she replied, trying to keep the peace. Maan's phone rang just then. Maan, my friend Maya Rayyansh will help you in this case, his father said. Leaving Maan momentarily stunned. Same name? What? She has a son. Yes, Maan. His name? Rayyan. Thank you, Dad. Maan hung up, his mind spinning. They had their hot chocolate in silence before heading out. Geet was initially hesitant to go with him, sensing his strange mood, but didn't say anything. He seemed too angry tonight. Do you have some problem, man? Geet asked quietly. You are my problem. His heart wanted to scream. Nothing, he said instead. I can go alone. Oh, why? So you can spend time alone with him? Man shot back, eyes burning with something more than jealousy. Why are you so irritated with Rayyan? Geet asked, now genuinely curious and a little hurt. I'm not, Man snapped, then sighed. I came across the entire truth through my own sources, and yes, I'm angry at you. Geet thought he was angry because she had hidden things from him. She stayed quiet. They reached the house. Geet turned to Rocky. Rocky, please don't wait here. It's cold. You better leave. How will you manage, Mom? We'll take a cab. I'm going, but please Mom, call me anytime, whatever the time is, he said with concern. Scene shift. Hello Man. Hello Geet. I'm glad to meet you again, Maya greeted them warmly. Good evening, Maya, Man said politely. They settled down, and Geet began narrating her situation in detail. Rayyan sat quietly, but his eyes never left Geet. He kept watching her, admiring, regretting, longing. It irked Man to no end. Geet, however, was used to his nature. You told him what? Man asked in disbelief when she mentioned the meeting with Paul. The reality, Geet said softly. Reality? Really, Geet? He's a strict man. We can't manipulate him. Why do you always open your mouth after messing everything up? What did I mess up? She asked, clearly offended. I have a list, Man retorted. Just tell me what comes first. I'm not interested in explaining it, Man said, his voice rough with bottled up emotions. Why are you in such a grumpy mood? She asked, fed up with his rudeness. Man. Geet, you can continue later, Maya interrupted gently. But Geet, at least talk to your elder properly. But Maya, I don't think that has anything to do with our case. Yeah, but how can you be so sure what matters and what doesn't? Man cut in. Man, I thought he understood me. Geet whispered, half to herself. Did he? Man's voice was sharp. Will you both please stop fighting now? Maya said, exasperated. Sorry, Maya, if I messed things up. Geet apologized, shoulders low. I thought you had a brain, Geet, Man muttered near her ear. I have a brain, and I've proven it plenty of times, she shot back in a whisper. Typical husband and wife, Maya said with a chuckle, shaking her head. Maya, we can prove that I'm meat, Geet offered. This isn't a Bollywood movie. They won't go for your medical checkup, Man snapped. Idiot. We can bribe some of them, she hissed. Oh really? And what if they're honest, M's, brilliant plan? He countered. Do you have a better idea, Mr. Intelligent Singh Khurana? She challenged. Nope, he muttered, irritated. Couldn't you tell me before? I didn't want to burden you, Geet said quietly. You've already done so much for me. I didn't want to burden you, Man mocked her tone, but his heart melted when Geet pouted, for the first time, in front of him. He could feel the wall cracking. He wanted to kiss her right then. God, this girl makes me crazy, he cursed in his heart. Geet, do you know Kate Smith? Not very well. I have some details about him, Man said. That's great, Man, she replied sincerely. Man told her everything he'd gathered. Geet, the Rathore property belongs to Abhinav. Anupama Mama and Abhi, I transferred everything back in their names. Maya, Geet said. Geet, it's both good and bad, Maya replied thoughtfully. They continued discussing every minor and major detail thoroughly. Scene shift. Mom, do you think Maya will help them? Or should we approach someone else? Amar Singh Khurana asked his wife. Don't worry, Amar. I've already arranged someone. We will win this case, she said confidently. Flashback. Dr. Meera, I know you know everything, Savitri said after Abhi's operation was successfully completed. I don't understand what you're saying. Mrs. Khurana, Meera replied nervously. Really, Meera? Savitri raised a brow. Yes, Meera stammered. Geet is your friend, and you know exactly what I'm asking. Mrs. Khurana. Geet doesn't like it when people talk about her personal life. I appreciate that. I'm not going to say anything, Meera said firmly. Savitri smiled. If you don't help me, we can't help her. Think about it. She began walking away. Mrs. Khurana. Meera called after her. Can we talk in my cabin? Call me Dadi first. Yes, Dadi. They entered Meera's room again. What kind of help, Dadi? Do you want to see her happy? Of course. Then tell me everything you know. How will you help her? You'll find out soon. That's a promise, Dadi said. Meera took a deep breath. All right, I'll tell you everything about Geet. You'll see a happy Geet soon, Savitri promised. But what if you fail? Meera asked softly. I never fail, Meera. But don't worry, everything I do, it's all for Geet. When hearts collide, truth becomes the battlefield. With Maya stepping in, Rayyan watching, and Man unable to hide his feelings any longer, pretend is no longer a game. It's real. Will Geet uncover the full truth before it's too late? If you felt that tension, that twist, and that tangled love, subscribe to the Velvet Story for more chapters filled with passion, power, and pain. Hit like, drop your favorite moment in the comments, and don't forget, every story has velvet beneath the scars. See you in the next chapter.